The Senate. This is a committee actually is mandated to see through all functions of devolution, municipalities, intergovernmental relations, inter-cities, inter-counties, all functions that relate to relations within the counties and the national governments. And today we have called you here. We have found that on all the counties that we called, the municipalities are not actually functioning fully. There are a lot of challenges we are seeing, and equally we're seeing yours also. There you have 2 municipalities here. But before we proceed, we will pray for the meeting and have a self-introduction. So please.
Let's pray. Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor and blessings as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our charge. Amen.
It's good to know one another. My name is Abbas Mohammed, the chair of the committee and the center of our GIA.
Good morning, Your Excellency, and Karibu Sana. My name is Catherine Muma, Vice Chair of the committee.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Your Excellency. My name is Mohammed Chute, Senator Marsabit, and a member of this committee.
Good morning. My name is Paris Tobiko. My county is Kajiado, and I'm a member of this committee.
Junior is my name, Senator from.
Morning, Excellency, and your team. My name is Sylvia Nasambu. I'm the head of the secretariat of this committee.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Desmond Rasugu, clerk assistant to this committee.
Good morning. My name is Angela Kagunyi. I'm the legal counsel to this committee.
Good morning. My name is Manamisi Ali, research officer.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Stanley Gikore, media relations officer.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everyone. Brian Ojama, PBU.
Good morning. Charles Oyosi, Hansard.
Julia Gashoki, Sergeant Atan.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Dr. Irungo Kangata, Governor Murang.
Thank you, Chair. My name is James Gatuna, the CEC in charge of lands at Urban.
Good morning. I am Brian Deleva, Chief Officer in charge of urban development.
Good morning. Good morning, Chair. My name is Beatrice Gisheha, Municipal Manager, Keno Municipality.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Professor Kiari Mwaura, the CCM Finance and Economic Planning.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Rob Ndungu. I'm the chairperson of Keno Municipality.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Ruth Moirori, chairperson, Muranga Municipality.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Bernard Mogo, Municipal Manager, Muranga.
Good morning, Chair. Kamweti Jogona is my name, Municipal Manager, Kagade Municipality.
Good morning, Chair, and Honorable Senators. I'm Bernard Kariuki, Deputy County Secretary. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. All protocol observed. My name is Karoga Isaac, Chief Officer, Devolution.
I'm Dennis Joroge Murebe, Assistant Officer. Good morning, Chair. I'm Dennis Joroge Muredi, ICT Officer, Muranga Municipalities.
Good morning, Chair. Bridget Wairemo, Chief Officer Governance.
Good morning, Chair. Venusa Yusuf, the Chief Officer for Health Services.
Good morning, Chair. Angela Kioko, Chief Officer Lands.
Members of the committee, Catherine Wachira, Chief Officer Public Service.
Good morning, Chair. My name is Michael Kizao. I'm a legal people attached to the DLS.
Thank you so much, members from the Muranga County. Your Excellency, we are in receipt of the committee is in receipt of your response, and I will just give you the opportunity to be able to discuss and respond to your questions of the committee. So we'll give you the time. You may delegate, if you so wish, to anybody, any of your officers, or you respond in person. So over to you now. Go proceed.
Yes, Chair.
Yes, who's the record? Professor Kamar?
Yeah, Professor Kamar Margaret, member of the committee.
Good morning,
Chair. I'm also here. I can go on record. This is Senator Karungo Adangwa, Senator of Kiambu, a member of this committee.
Karibu Mheshimiwa Adangwa. So, Your Excellency, please proceed if you want to respond to the question we ask you. Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. The first question was provide a list of all chartered municipalities in Muranga, indicating the exact date on which each was chartered, together with the attendant gazette notice. 2. Submit copies of all gazette notices, charters, agreements, or legal instruments through which functions were delegated from the county. The reply is the table below provides a summary of the chartering of municipalities and delegation of functions. Muranga Municipality Charter date is 3rd December 2019, Gazette number 11. Delegation of function 4th of December 2020, Gazette number 10189. Keno Municipality Charter 20th of July 2022, number 19. Delegation of functions 20th of December 2024, Gazette number 16758. Kangari Municipality Charter 20th of July 2022, number 20. Delegation of functions 9th December 2025, number 18590. Thank you. I annex Chair 1 are the gazette notices on the grant of municipal charters and the delegation of functions. Chair, I proceed. Number 3, provide the specific policies developed by the county government on the county functions that have been delegated to municipalities. The county government has developed and approved a number of policies to support the discharge of the functions delegated to the municipalities. These include 1. Solid waste management policy, approved, status. 2. Integrated development plans, approved. 3. County urban institutional development strategy, approved. 4. Integrated strategic urban development plans, approved. 5. Gender mainstreaming policy, approved. 6. Climate risk profile, approved. 7. Grievance redress mechanism policy, approved. Then 8th is private sector engagement framework. It is in draft form. Annexure 2, developed policy documents with regard to delegated functions. Number 4, outline the full governance and operational framework of each municipality, including board composition and appointment, a chairperson and municipal manager selection, board meeting frequency, existence and implementation of integrated development plans. The reply: the governance and operational framework of each municipality is established in accordance with the Constitution of Kenya, the County Governments Act 2012, the Urban Areas and Cities Act 2011 as amended, and the respective municipal charters. Each municipality is governed by a municipal board comprised of 7 members appointed by the governor with the approval of the county assembly through a competitive and transparent process. The members were nominated by different sectors, including professional association, business community, informal sector, and neighborhood association. The chairperson were elected by the members during the first meeting of the boards in accordance with the law. The boards hold meetings quarterly to provide strategic oversight and ensure effective governance. The municipal managers were competitively recruited by the county, Murang'a County Public Service Board, to oversee the day-to-day administration and operations of the municipality. Additionally, each municipality has prepared an integrated development plan which guides planning, budgeting, service delivery, development, and is implemented through annual work plans and budgets. Annexure 3, list of board members per municipality and their representation, appointment letters, minutes of board meeting electing chairperson, schedule of meetings, and evidence of implementation of IDP. Query 5, detail the status of delegation or non-delegation of revenue collection function to each municipality under sections 20 subsection 1M, 20 subsection 1N, and 21 of Urban Areas and Cities Act, Cap 275, and section 171 of the Public Finance Management Act, Cap 412A, where B, revenue raising and collection functions have not been delegated, provide the equivalent breakdown of revenue generated from the municipal area that was collected centrally by the county government, together with any revenue sharing, remittances, or transfers made to the municipality. We have the table there that shows financial year 2021, 2022, up to the present that ended on 31st of June 2026. So municipality, Murang'a, revenue collected in the first financial year, about 107 million, 107.4. The next year, 107.8. The next financial year, 112.5. 2025, 113.6. And then last financial year, it was 117.1. Allocated funds for Murang'a, it was 72.3 the first financial year, next 78.8, next 79.3, next 82.2, and then immediate financial year was 82.2 million. Remittances or transfers made, Murang'a 52.2 million, next 59.2, next 62.3, next 65.5, and last financial year 70.6 million. Keno and Kangari are new, so therefore they started operational in 2024-2025, where Keno revenue collected that year was 98.3 million. This year, last financial year, It ended at 128.3 million. Allocated funds were 28.4 in 2024-2025. Last financial year, that's 7.8. Remittances 2024-2025 is also 23.4 million. Last financial year nil. Kangari revenue allocated 2024-2025 46.2. Revenue last financial year 48.2. Allocated funds were 33 million. The last financial year 35.9. Remittances or transfer made 2024-2025 31.4. Last financial year 29 million or thereabout. Then Annexure 4 are the approved budgets. Query 6, provide a detailed breakdown of all funds, equitable share, conditional grants or other allocation disbursed by the county government to all municipalities in the county from financial year 2020 to 2021 to date, including the objective criteria used for allocation as provided by Section 173 of the Public Finance Management Act, approved budgets versus actual disbursements, and utilization reports. Equitable share and conditional grants table. Murang'a, equitable share 2020-21 was 72.3 million.
Chair, he doesn't have to read the entire detail on the, as indicated, would be good.
Thank you, Chair. Then I say as indicated. I then therefore go to query 7. Indicate the accounting officer for each municipality, state their designation, date and process of appointment. The accounting officers for the municipalities are the municipal managers, who are competitively recruited by the Murang'a County Public Service Board and designated as accounting officer by the County Executive Committee member for finance. Annexure 5, advertisement for the position of the municipal manager, appointment letters for municipal managers, and letters of designation as accounting officers issued by the County Executive Committee member for finance. Query 8, detail the budget preparation and approval process for each municipality, including adherence to timelines, public participation requirements, integration into the county budget appropriation bill, and publication of strategic plans and estimates. Annexure 6, the detailed budget preparation and approval summary. Query 9, provide all quarterly and annual financial and performance reports submitted by each municipality to the County Assembly from financial year 2020 to 2021 to date. The municipalities prepare and submit quarterly and annual performance reports to the County Assembly and to the Auditor General. Annexure 6, quarterly and annual financial report and performance are attached in the annexures provided. Query 10, confirm whether each municipality maintains dedicated accounts as required by Section 179 of the Public Finance Management Act. The county government confirms that each municipality maintains a dedicated bank account in accordance with the requirements of Section 179 of the Public Finance Management Act. The details of the respective municipal bank accounts are as follows. And then I go to query 10, provide information on human resource stroke staffing, including the number of employees and qualifications and secondment. The reply, the municipalities are staffed by municipal managers, officers deployed from relevant county government departments, and other technical and administrative personnel recruited and seconded in accordance with the approved organization structures and human resource policies. The staff possess the requisite academic and professional qualifications relevant to their respective roles, with the seconded officers providing additional technical support to facilitate the effective implementation of delegated municipal functions. The total number of staff and their placement across the various departments for each municipality are as tabulated below. Allow me to skip, as per your directions, Annexure 7, detailed list of staff per municipalities. Thank you. That's all.
My question is, according to the Gazette notice, 10, 18, 9, 16, 7, 56, 58, 18, 590 delegate to Muranga, Kenol, and Kangari. The part of their functions was revenue raising, collection, including the collection of rates, taxes, levies, and all this. However, the county has not stated the revenue collection functions have not been delegated to the municipalities. Can you provide reasons why the function has not been delegated to the municipalities? Sorry? You can ask questions. Go through it. Maybe you can take the questions one by one, all of us.
Yes, we do. Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, this committee is, I think you are fourth governor to be invited on this issue. We are trying to see how the county governments are implementing the Urban Areas and Cities Act, which is one of the laws that is expected to be implemented by your teams. We actually asked that Muranga be, I personally asked that Muranga be among the first ones to come, for the reason that you are my star governor when we were at the Devolution conference. And we are trying to see how devolution is being implemented as provided in the Constitution, but so far we've been disappointed to find that not much may be happening in terms of actual implementation. Now, you've given us some information around revenue collection. You've told us that you've not delegated the function of revenue collection, but you've been allocating to municipalities. You've at least given us the information that in regard to revenues that were collected per municipality. I would want you to assist us to trace the logical plan around Kenol, for instance, for financial year 2025-2026. Maybe your team can help us to extract the integrated plan for Kenol. For that, I mean, you'll have that overall. And the annual plan for Kenol for 2025-2026. Whatever budget they had planned, what was the budget that was submitted to the county assembly by Kenol for that year? For the reason that in indicating, if your table 3, you have indicated that in 2025-2026 that 37 million was allocated to Kenol. but there is a blank in terms of actual remittances. And then when we go further, you have given us further information about equitable share. And again, you have repeated that the equitable share that was given to Kennel was 37,800,000. So we don't know whether it was, I guess, maybe what was collected from Kennel goes to the CRF, and then it is treated as part of equitable share. Maybe you'll finalize that. And then they didn't receive any conditional grant. And then in table 5 on Kennel, you then tell us that the total budget for Kennel was 98,800,000 in the year 2025-2026. And then you tell us disbursements was 24,089,432, which is confusing because you've just told us equitable share and was 38, and you didn't indicate anything. And then, of course, you've given utilization as 24%. So it will be good for us to see what were the activities for Kennel for 2025-2026. What did they implement in that year? And of these 24 million that is indicated in table 5, how much of that went to development, so that we can see whether these counties are actually functional? And then my second question is to find out why we have a huge lapse between dates of issuing the releasing the charter and gazettement. What is informing the huge lapses in between the two events? Thirdly, and then I can give my colleagues, in your gazette notices, you make reference to transferring of function, yet the law is expecting you to delegate. And this question is material because we feel there seems to be a mindset that makes governors imagine that by delegating functions to municipalities, they are ceding power. So when you say transfer, then it feels, yes, yeah, you're actually giving away your functions. You used the words transfer, and yet what is expected is delegation. Why did you use those words? For the time being, Chair, that's my question. Those are my questions.
Thank you, Chair. Let me start from where Senator Moma has left. If you look at page 9, table 1, we have the date of gazettement for Muranga, which is on 5th February, and then delegations of functions on 16th November 2020. Those are 1 year, 8 months. For Keno, it's 2 years, 3 months. For Kangari, 3 years, complete 3 years. So her question is why it takes that long. So mine is those years. One is 1 year, 8 months. The other one is 2 years, 3 months. And for Kangari, 3 years. So why take so long? Question number 2, on page 10, Excellency, paragraph 14, collection of rates, taxes, levies, duties are all functions that were transferred, and still the Muranga County is collecting money. So I wanted to ask, if you are running a business, Muranga County as a business entity, and first let me, if you can tell the committee, how much does each county, each board consumes in, for example, Muranga, and then Keno and Kangari. Each year are you spending on those board So if you are running a business, you're spending, let's say, for example, 50, 60 million shillings, and then you are the one collecting the money yourself. So if you are running a business, what is the purpose of engaging the board while what the board is supposed to do is you is doing it? So if you are running a business, you are running that business at a loss, if I'm not wrong. That is what I want to hear from you. You are one of the best examples as a governor. You are one of the best examples to be even looked at by other counties. So we go to page, I hope you are noting it down, page 12, 6.3. This one is for Kenol Municipality. Yes, sorry, I am quoting from my Nini. So, 4 appointed on 9th and 2 on 14th. So in some instances, you have 7, then here you have 6. Why do you have 6? That's all, Governor. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Chair, I think so that we don't risk repeating ourselves, my interest was on what the Vice Chair has asked about transfer of functions. So I wonder, or delegation, that's 1. 2, on the issue of revenue collection by the municipalities. It's one of the many functions you had gazetted, but yet it's one of the functions that you have not to exercise. So what is your plan? Yes.
Chair, just allow. Excellency, you've indicated that Murang'a County has a revenue account, and yet you have not delegated a revenue collection. Do you want to clarify for us what that revenue account is all about? And then secondly, there is a bit of disparity in terms of appointments of the boards. That is for Murang'a and Kangari. When you look at the Urban Areas and Cities Act, the prescription is that you have 1 CEC member for urban areas. For Murang'a, you have that. For Kangari, it's unclear whether you have in your appointment. And then there is 3 members appointed by the governor. Honorable Governor, are you listening? It is required that there should be 3 members appointed by the governor. In your case, for Murang'a, you appointed 4. And again, 4 for Kangari. And then it says there should be 4 nominated by associations and appointed by the governor. And in the case of Murang'a, this allocation had 3, but for Kangari, it had 5. Okay? And then you are supposed to have 1 chief officer for urban development. In the case of Murang'a, you have 1 chief officer as required, as you have complied. But in the case of Kangari, you don't have that. So why did we have, is this a misguidance by your legal counsel, or what is the issue?
One final one. Okay.
You may reply
now. Chair, thank you. And I've never attended any meeting of this particular committee. I'm glad to know that there are senators here who can have governors as their staff during devolution. Congratulations, Senator Muma.
Order, Chair.
My question.
Can he clarify what he is talking about? I said star. He was my star governor.
I thought you said staff.
No. He was my star governor. In other words, he performed very well.
Sorry.
And he demonstrated that Muranga had done very well.
Oh, I thought you said staff. And in fact, the respect that I had then gathered for you is, of course, now then lifted. Chair, my questions are very simple. I mean, my concern and the question that I would like the governor to address is looking at the table. I think it's the first table that shows a revenue collected, allocated funds and remittances or transfers made for each of the three municipalities. Chair, my concern is why the funds allocated have not been remitted. Because looking at, for example, you can pick Muranga Municipality, year 2023-2024. You know, with a revenue collection of about 112 million, the allocated funds was 79.3 million. But then the county only remitted 62 million. So my question then to the governor is, why would we allocate funds and not remit all of it, especially considering that each of these municipalities, more has been collected from each of these municipalities. So I would have expected that at least the allocated figures or amounts are disbursed in full. So maybe the reasons why the remittance is not being done in full. Chair, my other concern is there has been, in the governor's response, there has been an indication that each of these sub-counties has an integrated development plan. Yes. And the chair, you know, some of these towns, some of these municipalities, especially Keno, is a town that just sprang up. I'm not very sure that the developments done there followed the earlier ones, followed any particular plan. So I don't know what is being done to correct the mistakes that may have been made with haphazard development, because it's a town, and I know you pass by their chair, is a city, is a town, or you know, a town that, you know, just sprang up. People are building everywhere. So what are we doing to see to it that we align development with the integrated development plan? And as we continue approving building plans for these particular municipalities, are we careful to see to it that any building plan that we approve follows or is in tandem with the integrated development plan? Chair, my last question may not be directly related to the questions that this committee wanted the governor to answer. But as a senator representing the county, I may want to know, because the municipal managers are here, I may want to know whether there is provision for play fields. Because, Chair, why I ask that is because we already in Keno, the playground that is in dispute. So has the county made arrangements to see to it that in each of the three municipalities that we have enough play fields, or we have a provision for that? Chair, sometimes you don't like talking about some things, but they're important. Do we have a provision for cemeteries for each of the three municipalities? Because they are growing very fast, especially Keno. So what has the county done to see to it that when these municipalities grow, of course everyone who is born dies at some moment, at some time in their life. So do you have a provision for asymmetry? A provision for each of the 3 municipalities? Do you have a provision for adequate play fields for each of the 3 municipalities? Chair, I think for now, those are the issues that I would be seeking clarification on from my governor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Mheshimiwa Governor, please respond.
Thank you, Chair. Let me start with my Senator, Senator Joe Nyuto. Yes, indeed, Keno has an integrated strategic urban plan. Yes, we do. Look at page number...
My apologies, yeah, can I check myself in?
Page number 2.
Chair, I wanted to sign in. Yeah.
Yes, Mheshimiwa Nyoka.
This is Senator Nyonka.
I can't hear him.
Senator of Kinzi County, checking in, member of this committee.
Okay. Okay, proceed.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes, Keno has a plan. The report, page 2. The table there. Number 4. The integrated strategic urban development plan for Keno is there. But it, page 2, that table there, point number 4. Of the write-up. This the write-up, the summary. There's a table there. Point 4. That one. Yes, so you then go to the documents you have, then you will see it there as item 4. It's annexure 1.
We have annex 1 and 2 Muranga, annex 1 and 2 Kenya. Is that the one?
Yes. Yes.
Chair, if he can delegate, it's okay. If he can delegate to his officer there.
And gazette notice is not the plan.
Maybe you can tell your colleagues to your staff to help. You can delegate.
You can delegate, yes, fine.
Chair, the bundle with the policies is what His Excellency is. I'm saying the document that the governor is alluding to is policy documents, number 4, integrated.
1.
It should be.
Show the physical. Show us the physical.
It's in the bundle.
Chair, the pages are not paginated, so it is not easy to access.
If you allow, I can send my.
Yeah,
yes, go there. Come here.
Come here.
Come here,
through
Brian.
here.
Brian, come here. Go there.
Show the chair.
So, Your Excellency, we've received, he has guided on the annual strategic plan, Annual strategic plan, it should be annual operational plan. A strategic plan is more than 1 year. But the total was, the grant budget for that is 140 million. But if you look at the tables I was showing you, in terms of remittances, you had allocated 0. You had 37,800 million that you allocated in the budget, and you had 0, but later on you had the 24. We wanted an explanation on what's happening with that, and whether that where that 24 went, on which activities. Okay.
Chair.
That's for Kenol, yes.
Chair. I thought, Chair, the governor was addressing the issue of integrated development plan, which he had not dispensed with. So, Chair, if you may, I think if the governor would address the issue of development, integrated development plan, and whether, especially Kenol, Chair, whether the approval of building plans, like I had asked, going forward, is following that particular plan, and what is being done to correct the mistakes that may have been made, because that was the question. And I think the question he
Senator Nyoto, I know what question I asked. I know very well what question I asked, and that was the second one after the chair.
No, sorry, First Chair. What Nyoto is saying is that he has not, governor has not completed his response. So allow him to complete the response.
But no, I thought the governor was responding to me. That's exactly why he came to show me this. Okay. So yeah, he's actually interfering with.
I think, Chair, I don't know how you conduct the business of this particular committee, but the governor had, I think Senator Muma asked to be shown the integrated development plan.
Yes.
So that is not to mean that her question is lesser or will not be answered. The governor had said that he was starting with the issue of the one I had raised. Remember, I also have a question on figures. So I'm just saying, to be fair to each one of us, if we are talking about the integrated development plan, Chair, we dispense with that, then we go to the other issues. Of course, I'm aware that there are very many questions that we have asked. It's only that the governor had chosen to start with my question. So if we can, yeah, that's what I was saying.
It's okay. Proceed if that's what we want to.
Okay, Governor, proceed with the Newton's answer.
Yeah, Chair, allow me just to
move faster.
Yeah, just for avoidance of doubt, we are starting to reply from below. That is Senator Nyoto. Then we'll come to Senator Tobiko, then we'll come to Senator Marsabit, then we'll come to Senator Mumo, then we'll finish with your first question. Why? Because, so we start with Senator Nyoto. I think his first question was whether we have a plan, and that's why we produced that document to show indeed we do have a plan. Do we approve pursuant to that plan? The answer is yes, we do approve in accordance to that plan, but now it only applies for the new buildings. The other issue was, do we have a playing field in Keno? Yes, we do have. In other municipalities, yes, Kangari and Muranga. For Keno, we are aware of a contentious issues concerning the field. There is an approved plan. We never carried it here, but it is there in our website. That is www.moranga.go.ke, of an approved development plan of Keno, the new industrial park. And we designated a space there for a field, and that park is within Keno municipality. As to the cemetery, yes, we do in Kangari, Muranga, and also Keno. For the one at Keno, we have one cemetery at a place called Gikono, which also takes that into account. I'm also informed for a field, apart from the one at the industrial park, we have another one at a place called Kaga, which the other day we put some, we upgraded the road that goes to Kaga from Maram to Cabro standards. Then we come to the question asked by some questions. I think this was a follow-up, but by Senator Mumo. And the questions were, it was in refer to the table appearing on page 3.
Her name is Senator Muma.
Ah, Muma, sorry,
Yes.
we apologize. Yeah. So at page 3, we have a table there. And the question was, when you go to Keno, there's a missing figure there on 2025. Yes, we admit there was a clerical error. The actual amounts there is 30,520,000 on that call were made last financial year. So 25-26. 25-24 is 23.4. The other one is 30.52. A question was asked relating to this table by one of the senators, Mr. Chairman, concerning the mismatch between the allocated funds and the remittances. The answer to that is yes, it is true. There is always that mismatch, and it has to do with the money we budget from as conditional grant, in particular KUSIP. We will budget, but it does not come in that financial year, and therefore there will be underutilization because that money has not come in that financial year. Then we had another question, Mr. Chairman, from Honorable Tobiko, nominated senator from Kajiado, on the issue concerning delegation of functions and the issue also concerning revenue and collection account. The answer to that is that we want to assure members that indeed we do have collectors of revenue at each municipality level who report to the municipality managers. And a question was asked as to whether this is a transfer of function or a delegation. And the answer is it is a delegation. Yes, you might find in this write-up where we make references to transfer. I think that's an error on our part when we were preparing the document. But the correct term is delegation. Even the first page, as you can see, the actual term ought to be delegation of function. A question was asked concerning whether the governor has overappointed people, about 3 members or 4. Is it 4 or is it 3? The correct position is that it is 3 members that the governor appointed. Maybe this other one is the element of the CCM and the CEO who sits there.
Point of order, Chair. Chair, the governor is glossing over our questions because on the mine was too wrong. Besides the issue of delegation and transfer, Then I asked on the issue of revenue collection. He has hardly touched on the issue of revenue. He's just said each municipality has revenue collectors, but do they collect the revenue?
Chair, thank you for that. I will answer it from these two.
I will request you to use your finance guys. They can help you on that, actually, so they can a bit more faster.
Chair. Collection is, governor is on the right track.
Yeah.
But the issue is, collection means what? Are they depositing in municipality account or they still county government account? That is the issue. He needs to clarify.
There is a dilemma there, Chair, because all our revenue is automated. So you will not have somebody there going to collect and then taking that money into an account by the municipality. What will happen, let's say you are in Keno, you will pay digitally your revenue, and that revenue will not go into what I would call a municipal account. It will now go to the larger larger account, the revenue account for all sorts of. Yeah. Well, let me, before CRF, there's a revenue account seated somewhere in Murang'a for all sorts of revenue. So once you pay, let's say, parking in Keno, that's where your money will hit, and that money will be swept to CRF. So that money will not show. Yes, it will show where it has come from municipality X, because the platform is clearly indicating this is from a certain municipality. You'll be able also to know what each municipality is collecting. And we also have differentiated payment pathways that shows this is from municipality X, Y, Z. That one is there. But a physical account per se for a municipality, it is becoming superfluous once you digitize, because you just pay and that money goes to a certain revenue account, which then sweeps all the money to CRF. Maybe Professor Kiari can say something more.
Chair, allow me, Your Excellency, you might want to link that to the question I asked about Murang'a actually having a revenue account. From what you've shown us, you talked about operational accounts. There was operational accounts. Which was the other? Special account. And then Murang'a in particular had a revenue account.
Yes, we do have, and we look at this document page. We do have, but I think after digitization, where everyone now pays to one central, practically it becomes a little bit superfluous. What the digital system shows is where that money came from. Yeah, but it
means the Murang'a revenue account should be redundant.
Yes, it is.
Or it should be closed or something.
It is dormant, and also it also speaks to a push by CUP that counties should have fewer bank accounts. But allow me to yield to a professor to explain how it works.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Your Excellency the Governor. Just to reiterate what the Governor has said, it is true that from the 3 municipalities that we have, every municipality has a USSD code, which is able to be used by any person who is paying money, and the money goes directly to the Murang'a County revenue account, which is held at Cooperative Bank. So from where we sit, if we add another layer of Keno or Kangari having their own account, would actually be adding to the bureaucracy, because that money will still be swept to the CRF, but the process will take longer. So for us, it's more efficient because we can reconcile and we can be able to see where all this money is coming from, we are able to know how much each municipality is contributing, even as we do the computations about how much they should be allocated. So the automation has helped us a lot in terms of adding or reducing that bureaucracy. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, kindly, I would want to hear from our legal. What's the position of the law? What is the anticipation of the law? What's the ideal situation? It's a delegated function. Very specifically, number 14, I checked. And now we are being told the county CRF, account. So here there seems to be a very clever way of all the county executive intertwining with the municipalities, so you can't tell who is doing what. You don't know who is reporting what. I don't know whether the municipalities do their own returns and their own budgets. And so from what the legal has had, please kindly, let's see how we can disengage and have the agencies operating as expected and the county being the oversight that's supposed to be.
Through the chair, indeed, when you look at PFM, section 172, it does anticipate that where the function of revenue collection has been delegated by a city or an urban area, that there may be a possibility that to a certain extent that urban area can actually retain those funds and have them utilized at that level. But remember, the function of revenue collection is as may be delegated. It is not compulsory for the counties to delegate the function of revenue collection to municipalities. However, when they do, yes, when they do as it has been indicated in their Gazette notice that they have delegated, it therefore follows that they need to actualize that delegation because they have taken that step of actually delegating the function. So then they are bound by the provisions under the PFM when it comes to the utilization or even, and that's why the PFM also talks about opening these particular accounts for the municipality. Yeah.
According to what we have now, the municipalities, they are not collect money. The revenue goes straight to the collection account, direct to the bank. It's automated. No, you're not.
No. I think if we are following up so that we understand this bit as well. Your Excellency, my understanding is that whatever system you have is able to demarcate the collection from a municipality. Therefore, to me, that would not be a problem. But I would want you to explain the operations account and the special purpose account, because that municipality is semi-autonomous. It's supposed to deliver on certain functions that you've delegated to them. So I would want to see having centralized collection, which is not a problem so long as you're able to distinguish that the funds from municipality X, let me just say my bit, you'll say yours, that the funds from X municipality, Y municipality is here. I would want to know how that municipality is being functionalized to deliver on its function as was anticipated under the Urban Areas and Cities Act. And in my view, it's not clear on the operations account and special purpose account. The ordinary operations of these public entities would be recurrent. You are dealing with the administrative issues, possibly HR. And then there is development. We are delivering solid waste management. We are doing lights, parking, all of this. Which account for purposes of Kenol Muranga, is holding the funds to enable this municipality to deliver on those functions?
Chair, I seek to disagree with the Vice Chair. We cannot apply the law selectively. It must, it must go with the spirit of the law. If it's a delegated function, then we need to see it implemented independently and separately by the agencies. They cannot be collecting to the CRF. They should be having their own accounts. They should be doing their own budgeting, implementing, and unless there is a formula of sharing that revenue, really what is expected is that the municipalities are collecting the revenue and even spending some at source, depending on the agreement with the county.
Exactly. So I would want to hear what tools he has to do.
But as you say, he's your star governor, but then he should remain at that level of real star.
Order members, I think this is a very simple question. The finance guy is here. One thing we want to know is, after the money is collected, what goes back to the municipalities and at what percent? Is there any procedures that you use that you collect all the money in one place, received in, collected, it goes to the account, and then it's budgeted for? How much money, what percent of that collection goes back to the municipalities?
Yeah, kindly, maybe before the finance CCM comes to that, maybe legal should clarify. And I'm following up on Senator Tobiko's question. What does the law contemplate? What does it contemplate? A situation where once we delegate revenue collection to a municipality, that the said revenue, all of it is utilized autonomously. I mean, these particular this particular municipality is autonomous going forward to collect and expend the revenues so collected. Before now, the CCM finance says what they do. What does the law contemplate?
What's the spirit of the law?
I think.
Legal must help us out here.
Okay, to help
on
you.
This one.
Okay, let's listen to her. Just proceed and be quick a bit. You are going now to midday now.
Okay, maybe I can just read what section 1.
Just read the BVM Act.
Yes. Section 172 of the Public Finance Management Act provides that the title is Financing of Urban Areas or Cities. Subject to the Constitution and any other act of Parliament, and with the approval of the County Assembly, an urban area or city may be funded through any of the following sources. A, revenue arising from rates, fees, levies, charges, and other revenue-raising measures, which is retained by the urban area or city for the purposes of defraying its costs for providing services. B, revenue allocated by the county government to the urban area or city. C, investment income. D, grants and donations. Or E, borrowing as provided for under Section 140 of this Act. Under A, it says that revenue arising from rates, fees, levies, charges, and other revenue-raising measures, which is retained by the urban area or city for the purpose of defraying its costs for providing services.
Which may be retained.
Yes.
So actually what we need to know is what arrangement does Muranga have for purposes of facilitating municipalities to have the funds necessary to carry out their functions. So you will be able to tell us whether you are utilizing 172.1, is it A or 1? A, whether you have operationalized A, whether you have operationalized B, and so on. And the reason I say so, and I don't take kindly to the comments made by Senator Tobiko, is that an upcoming urban areas may require 100% allocation from 2 in order for it to operate. So we need to, what we need to find out is what formula is Murang'a using to actually operationalize this.
Your Excellency, I think is a very simple thing. I know you have a centralized kind of collection that everything is automated. After that, when you collect the money, how do you distribute the money back to the municipalities, the source, where the money came from? No.
Chair, the question is, money is collected at the municipality level, and it may be retained.
That's okay, I understand it.
Then, Chair, the governor said that it is not the issue of transfer, it is delegated. What he's saying, what is in this document is typo error or wrong. So let's talk about delegated, not transfer. I think he has made it very clear, Chair.
No, one thing I'm saying is, the money is actually automated, collected, taken to one account, okay? And thereafter, it's been utilized now for the purpose of utilization for different municipalities. That's how I understand it.
Yeah, and it is on page 13.
Am I right?
It is very clear.
Tell us how we go about those things. You collect the money, it's automated, it goes to an account. What happens next?
Chair, thank you so much for your good questions. Let me start with your question.
Yes.
Once the money is collected by the municipalities, they are supposed to give us a budget, which they do. They meet as a board, they tell us, this is what we want to be done using whatever amount we have expended. Of course, we have the constant, what I would call recurrence. That is salaries. That goes without saying. But now the key issue comes to development. Now, development, and I think that's where maybe this item may not adequately capture what happens in our municipalities, is because you have development as per budgeted by the respective municipality boards. So you'll find, for instance, well, just to give you an example, let's say Kangare will budget, let's say, 10 million or 15 million per annum. So when you look at this write-up, that's what we will happen. And it is them who will do the procurement. They will do a singular, we will do a singular advert. People will apply, but what is for executive will be done by the executive. For the municipal board, they will come up with a committee. They have their procurement people, they have the engineer, they'll do the evaluation, then a person will get an award from there, and that will happen. However, that fails to capture other support the executive renders to the municipalities, because in the main budget we have money for infrastructure, which, because municipalities fall in certain wards, so you'll find the executive, through some recommendation often through the members of the county assembly, will also support other infrastructural projects in the same municipalities. Also, we have some donor funds that go specifically to the municipalities. In fact, from a practical point of view, we have received some, for lack of a better word, some noise from other wards where they see as if the county executive is favoring these three urban areas, because they will not only budget the year money, which they have planned, but will also support them using the infrastructural projects. Maybe to give you just an example, in the last financial year, you will find Keno municipality. In the main budget here, the one they planned, I think amount was 10 million. That meant we did to what we call cabro works. in Keno municipality. That's 2 tenders, 5 million, 5 million. Then the main executive in the same year, we put 35 million to do cabro works. I know my senator comes from there. You'll find accelerated cabro works and tamaking in Keno. I'm sure he knows Keno CBD. He knows a place called Mentasako, Kaga, OJ. Currently we have Gadhanji happening. We have PK. We have Karugu also happening. We have the one going down to Jerusalem. So all those are, you'll find more activities in Keno in comparison to other places. The same also applies in Murang'a. 10 million again, but now you find more works being done in the municipalities in comparison and non-municipality areas. Thank you.
Chair, that's a good answer, but Chair, kindly let me seek some clarification.
Questions. Let him answer all the questions
if
first.
we can.
The
Let
other,
him answer
I
all their
wanted just
questions.
to...
I wanted to know, Chair, you know the very first table that appears on the response by the governor? Yes, it's talking about...
Order. You to know we have asked a lot of questions. Let's finish questions and then we do round 2 for more questions again.
Oh, no. You
Otherwise,
know,
as if you continue interrupting.
It's just a clarification on that
okay.
particular one.
Go ahead.
And Chair, I can assure you I'll not bother you with irrelevant questions. So I'm just wondering, having listened to the response by the governor, that these municipalities collect a revenue to a central fund. Then, if they have a budget, they present the same to the executive. And Chair, we have a table, the very first table talking about delegation of functions. So, I'm not taking you back. I just wanted to know exactly then what is delegated. If this municipality to present a budget to the executive, then on the executive for every other item of expenditure. So is there really delegation? It's actually a yes question.
No.
So that Senator there, then.
Chair, and just to follow up on what he has said, Chair, the governor and I know that we will meet in the CPIC committee. And when we meet at the CPIC committee, this will definitely be one of the audit queries by OAG. He knows that. So we can OAG on this specific issue about independently, and they have no...
Okay.
Yes, I think allow me, Chair, to give some remarks, then I will yield to 2 other people. The one will be CEC, Professor, then my other CEC, Lance, will also say something. First, my understanding to the query, particularly the legal aspect of it, is that we are here to settle what is the meaning of the word may. So, because on our part, we believe may means, may does not mean shall. Yeah, shall means you must do it. May means it's upon us to decide what we delegate. That's 1. 2, there's a second issue of what is the meaning of an account. Maybe in a bank account written Murang'a town account, written Keno account. But with the evolution of technology, it can also mean an USSD, which what we believe we have created, and which clearly shows where that money is coming from and how much each municipality is collecting. And for avoidance of doubt, apart from us now coming to the Senate for justifying, but municipalities also undergo review by the World Bank to see whether they qualify for what we call, let's say, KUSIP grants. And some of them, they will come and look at those very good questions which are being asked, and they will see, insofar as creation of those accounts, it can be deemed as we have adhered to those rules. Maybe the other dilemma, legal dilemma hearing, is whether they are operating as envisaged by the law in terms of delegation, Chair. Once they meet, there are several things they do independently. One, we have said, they are the one who will identify which project to be done using their funds. That's not us. They'll just come up with, say this is what to be done, and then that has to be funded by the money they collect. But if it's not sufficient, then the county government will then add more to plug in that deficit in the budget using our own thing. As to whether maybe they should expend at source, where you directly expend. In procurement, strictly speaking, because they have their own procurement departments, that happens. They even have their own engineers. But the practical drawing of the money from that main account, now there's another section of the law, the PFM Act, which requires a specific law, which so far is yet to be created for us to be able to allow them to do that. Unlike what happens in the hospitals, which this Senate, in its wisdom, created a very specific law. So will be a little bit reluctant as a county government to allow that until that law is done as you did with the hospitals. Is it desirable? Maybe there I would leave it to the wisdom of the Senate to see whether that's desirable to allow them to expend at source. But definitely from where I see it, I see a distinction between hospitals and municipalities. Why your hospital did a good job was that the emergency nature of hospital service. You cannot go to a hospital and the doctor has to await the approval of the money to be expended from the Chief Officer of Finance. That would take time and it involves the lives of people. As to the municipality, maybe we can await whether you'll be able to come up with a law. We will seek you, we'll wait for you. But allow me to yield to Professor to explain more.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Your Excellency. Just to add a few points to what the Governor has said. Maybe the first is to point out that the municipalities are working very closely with the county government. And actually, in the last audit of the Office of the Auditor General, Kagari municipality and Keno municipality got an unqualified audit opinion. And so we are in this transition process because, as the Governor has said, Kangari and Keno have only been operational for the last 2 years. If we make them fully autonomous now, I think it will be to the disadvantage of the municipalities, because if you look at what, for instance, Kagari collects, it's collecting 48 million. But when you look at what the county spends from the main budget for Kangari, it's much more than 48 million. Because, for instance, just for the community projects alone, which sit in the main budget of the county, Kangari, last financial year, it got 30 million from the community project. If you calculate all the money it got from the smart cities, it's much more than 48. So if we make it autonomous now, and we kind of try to delink it from the main county executive budget, it will actually disadvantage the municipality. So I think we are in this transition process where we are trying to support them. Maybe in future, once they grow and they become really successful in terms of money, then the county would actually be very happy to say that we can take a back seat and then let them use the resources. But for now, we need to help them to grow. Because as the governor said, every municipality sits in a ward. We have 35 wards. And once we are allocating the budget, we make sure that the allocation to the wards is very equitable. For instance, if we say every ward is getting 30 million, that 30 million is also going to the municipality. So I think we're in this transition process where the municipalities are part of an integrated whole. The integrated whole is the county, which is trying as much as possible to be efficient. So in future, we might want to delink once the municipalities become successful. But for now, we would ask for a bit of latitude where we are allowed to help them grow until they're able to walk on their feet. Thank you.
Just to say, this committee is not asking for municipalities to delink. Municipalities are part of the county. So you can't talk about county and vis-a-vis municipality. What we would want is that municipalities, as anticipated under the urban areas and cities, are actually operationalized in that manner. Nothing stops Governor from sitting with your cabinet on Monday and on Tuesday sitting with board members of municipalities. So the operation, as though it is an adversarial arrangement, rather than one of your arms for service delivery in the county, is what is problematic. Actually, the question was, what does delegated mean? So did you do the Gazette notice for the record? Or what did you want when you put there that you are delegating? And how are you implementing that section 172 of the PFMA? How are you implementing the Urban Areas and Cities Act? That is actually what this committee is interested in seeing, how we actually functionalize these entities actually that pre-existed devolution, and the constitution retained them as not another level of devolution. And the more you treat them as if they are away, the more, for your information, the caucus has been thinking that they should get a direct allocation from National Assembly to operate as if there are a third tier of devolution, which we have said no to, because they are part and parcel of the county government. So the question is, how are you effectively doing delegation? That is the question that people are asking here. And we need that taken seriously and actually contemplated, not as a matter of the future. We are on the 14th year since starting to implement devolution. So it is something that all counties need to think through and see how to implement.
Chair, I just wanted, our first questions has not been answered, but there is something very important we need to agree on, Chair. Chair, the gazettement notices are legally binding. These are Gazette Notice 10, 101, 89, 167, 58, 18590. The Gazette Notice clearly says transfer of functions. It has been transferred. But the governor said that is not a transfer, it's a mistake. So my question is this, we have a legal officer here. Do we need, again, does the county government needs to do another Gazette Notice to change this from transfer to delegation? Because if it remains like this, it is legally binding, you either need to change, or if you keep it this way, the municipalities should manage collection and use of that money at the county, the municipality level.
Can he finish plus the remaining question so that we then ask the next round?
Yes. Your Excellency, you have questions you have not answered, or you are through with it?
No, we do have.
Please, just go on through it. Answer them very fast.
Thank you, Chair. There was a question that was asked about Keno membership, that Keno seems to have 6 members. Yeah, The answer is one member passed on. We're in the process of replacing the late Reverend Dorongo. Then we have the question of delay. That is, when you look at the dates, when the Gazette was done, and then when you look at the date when the delegation of function was done, there appears to be a mismatch, or rather a delay. The answer to that, Chair, is that it takes time to set up a municipality. You need to build an office, you need to recruit staff, and you need to train them. That has been the reason why there has always been some delay. Kangari, for instance, we had to build a new building from the scratch. We had to advertise, and advertisement to recruit managers involves even several other entities, and that's the reason we really had that issue. Then there was the question concerning the cost of how we are running these entities. When you look at the cost versus the revenue, and the question was, are we running, if it was a business, are we running it using prudent fiscal rules? Now that it appears the cost seems to be higher than the amount that we are deploying. The answer is we are on a transition stage. Even a business takes time for it to reach a stage where you're able to get enough revenue vis-a-vis the money you're expending. That's why, from a development point of view, the county government has been adding more resources to the municipalities to ensure there is a markup, or rather an accelerated aspect of that. But particularly Keno, I think Keno has been on a positive trajectory. When you look at page 3, you look at the money they collected in the 2024-2025, it was 98 million. And that was the year that it was established. But next financial year, that has gone to 128 million. That shows exponential growth for Keno municipality, which we hope it will remain on the same trajectory. In fact, now Keno has superseded Moranga municipality, which has been an old municipality since times many years ago. Then let me yield to my CCM if there is anything that we have missed.
Thank you, Chair, and members of the committee. I think there had been a question on what it means to delegate. Functions. One is there has to be infrastructure that the municipality is responsible for, or where they're operating from. 2, we have to have the team that undertakes the functions within the municipalities. And I think the very last table in our presentation has a summary of the core functions within the municipalities that are undertaken. And have teams from the administration team, the finance team, public health, social services, infrastructure, and the like. So without those teams in place, we can't effectively be able to delegate. The other bit is, as we delegate those functions, they have to be supported. And looking at the 2 budgets that have been prepared for 24-25 and 25-26, we've had specific allocations, unlike before where municipalities were sitting within the Department of Urban. They are now independent items within the budget lines, having their own votes, so that they can be able to expend and be able to implement the projects that are within their budget lines. And the last thing is on the implementation of those specific budgets. Typically, we'd have officers within the the executive undertake these functions on behalf of the municipalities. But right now, implementation of the budget is basically by officers who sit within the municipalities, and they are guided by the municipality manager. So for any project, any implementation works, we have the municipality manager guiding, of course being oversighted by the municipality boards. Thank you, Chair.
Chair. The question I asked, the last one, on the Gazette notices, what are we supposed to do? That was question I asked the governor.
You remember the question?
Yes, I remember the question is, if I'm not wrong, my understanding, the senator is suggesting there was an error on the way we crafted that gazette. We seem to have used the word transfer as opposed to delegation. Chair, we will relook into it. I will consult the lawyers in the team, and if there was an error, we can always correct it through maybe a fresh Kenya Gazette.
Maybe on the same point. There's a problem I've seen that in a charter, the power to appoint boards is actually attributed to the CEC. And contrary to Section 14 of the urban areas and cities, the power is for the governor, in the governor's circle, with approval of the county assembly. So I know where the CEC comes in appointment of boards. So that is part of your charter. Also, that is an error that you need to look again. Okay, is that okay? Yeah.
Chair.
No, okay.
Thank you, Chair. We can correct it.
Okay.
Chair, no, the governor did not answer. I had a question about the types of accounts in the municipality. Special purpose account usually is one that might be demanded by donors, usually to hold funds for maybe conditional grants or additional accounts. And then you have operational accounts. What I'm asking is, how come if counties are semi-autonomous, if municipalities are semi-autonomous as they ought to be, where is the development fund account? You have operational, and then you have operational special, operational and special purpose. You don't have any development account, or what is the practice in Muranga? And Chair, allow me while I have the mic to ask the other question. I've looked at this annual plan for 2025-2026 for Keno, and I don't know whether it's me who does not know. You allocated, Keno allocated 25 million for maintenance of urban bitumen roads, urban drainage systems, cabros, walkways, upgraded bus parks, approved zonal plans. But from the CUSP monies, you allocated a whopping 39.3 million for the municipal handbook indicators. Does that seem to make sense even for the ordinary? I don't know how to do these things. That development of a manual will cost 39.3 million, but the collection of maintaining roads and drainage and all of this would be 25 million. So maybe it may not be the job of this to scrutinize in the detail, but Governor, just pointing out to you some of these annual plans and what is happening, I don't know whether that makes sense.
Chair, sorry, I'm not aware of such kind of an allocation. Maybe let me send my chief officer to recheck, but I want to.
Is looking at it, can I ask?
I think we would want to be shown the specific item so that we are able to see.
Chair, can I?
Your Excellency, apologies. I think this is a combination of recurrent and all the recurrent and admin costs that has here.
Chair, I have very quick 3 questions, very important questions. Remember, the chair's caucus, municipality chair caucus came before the committee. And the issues they've raised is that they don't have that autonomy. Even functions that has been transferred, they cannot manage those functions. Again, they talked about even having meetings. Everything is being managed by the county governments, not only your county, but all the county governments. I want to, yes. So I wanted your contribution on that one. Number 2, since the formation of municipalities, the 3 municipalities, your own sales revenue, has it increased? If yes, by what percentage? Because I'm looking at, we have municipalities. Are these municipalities adding value in terms of financial terms? Finally, Chair, you remember county governors are complaining about transferred functions by the national government to the counties. Those functions are not being followed by funding. So isn't it appropriate if I say the county governments also are doing the same to municipalities? They are transferring functions but not followed by financing. What is the difference? Because you've been complaining about national government transferring functions but no financial following. So what is the difference? Because it is the same thing, the same way the national government is treating the counties also are treating municipalities in the same way. So as a star governor, 5-star governor, what do you think other counties can do? We have a lot of respect for him. He's supposed to be an example for other counties also. So what can be done so that once you transfer functions and autonomy, autonomy should be also reached in terms of having municipalities managing their own things? Thank you.
Maybe to add on that, we know that constitutionally the municipalities are supposed to do business on your behalf of the county. And that's why maybe you're delegating most of the times. But the thing is, constitutionally, the municipalities are supposed to be there and functional. And he rightly said, from all the governors that appeared here, they could not explain why they don't want to release funds to the municipalities. Why don't you just come up with a budget that at least makes the municipalities to work on their own? Because they come under the CEC, I think lands, I don't know what. Everything is being done through that office. The municipal manager has no business. The board has no business other than just approving, whatever the CEC has brought to their attention. So I think that is not going to work. You're getting the World Bank money and the COSIP thing. All this is coming through those municipalities. But these guys have no authority. They are non-functional almost. So do you really need to have municipalities? According to your understanding, Your Excellency. Because 13 years down the line, municipalities are not working. I think it's only in Cliffy that we saw there's a bit of... They were talking even allowances. It's not there. Yes. So I think... I don't know what is the problem. What's the challenge? There's so many times we ask the question that the government don't want to release funds to municipalities. Even if they're going to release, they must manage it again by the CECs. So what will the board do? What will the CEO and the municipality do? What is their function?
Yeah, can I go on record?
Go ahead.
Sorry, I lost my voice.
Go ahead.
Senator Zena Lemalichian, from a member of the committee. Thank you.
I think what I want to point out, give us the solutions. Because we have asked many governors and they left us without any response, proper response. What we want is a functional municipality. So how do we achieve that?
Okay, thank you so much. My understanding to all those questions, Chair, is they center on more of a philosophical, moral question. Yeah, and therefore, I will, if you'll allow me, I will combine them cumulatively to try to answer them.
Yeah, I thought you would answer them. Those keys are full of praise for Murang'a County and the regulation. A lot of things have been done. Digital things have been done. They won't answer other things also for now for me. So I think you should start. I say municipality will be able to done ABCD. That is, they are going to do ABCD after you live here. You'll come up with a program on how best municipalities can work.
Okay, the first point I'll say is that I think there is the importance of municipalities remain from where I sit. In fact, I think the importance will continue growing as time goes on. Why? Because Kenya is projected to become highly urbanized. Africa is becoming highly urbanized. In the next 20, 30 years, it is projected half of African population, including Kenya, will be in urban areas. Murang'a urbanization rate currently is about 30%. That means in the next 20 years, 20% of people of Murang'a will move to Keno, to Kangari. It will move to Murang'a. But I think the draft out of the Constitution, one of the things they probably forgot to consider is a realization that there is a joinder of power and elections. I say so because in other jurisdictions, you will not only delegate that power, but you will have to ensure whoever is holding that position has a popular mandate. A mayor who is elected by the people. Is it desirable for Kenya to therefore then create maybe some elective positions so that we have proper delegation? I would say no, incidentally, because the dangers that can pose, including competition of power. Yeah, I think we need to empower municipalities as provided in the law, and that's why I support what this committee is doing to push us to give them more autonomy. So what the solution? One is that before an area is fully deemed as a municipality, care be given so that you don't give an area that is not, for lack of a better word, viable as a municipality, the charter. Because remember, a new unit means more taxes. And no one loves taxes. No business person loves taxes, unless one sees a correlation between taxes and that one. Two, I think counties, including their own budget, which we hold, is that they need to send more resources in our municipalities in a strategic manner, vis-a-vis other places, other wards, because ultimately, even the people in the rural areas, they come to the urban areas to seek some service, whether a school, whether a hospital, whether a shop. And as a county, there's a program that we have conceived that is purely for urban areas, the one we call Smart City Program, where we tarmac and put cabros in our urban areas, envisaging a situation where more Murang'a people will go to the urban areas as opposed to the reverse. But as to this law now, the legal aspect which this committee really pushed, where we ensure we follow the law in terms of proper delegation, proper opening up of accounts. I think that because the law is law, we have to do it. We have taken your advice. We have noted your sentiment. I think the more we come here, the more we also learn. And the pressure you put on us it also makes us, when we go home, we ensure we have all the proper documents, and we hope next time we come here, we will find a more fully functioning municipal entity. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, I think the issues I had have been addressed. Only I don't have to ask some questions here. Maybe behind the tent I'll ask the governor where the cemetery for Kangari is, because I don't know where it exists. I didn't know Kangari municipality. Physically that is, which I don't have to ask here because the committee will not even know. I did not know that for Keno there is one in...
Is a senator for Muranga serious, really?
Yes. Why Senator Chute? You know, like the governor said...
Sorry, proceed, don't answer.
Yes. You know, Senator Chute is mischievous. Why I'm asking that, I'm saying that, Chair, I'm not displaying my ignorance. Where the governor said the cemetery for Keno is, it cannot be less than 15 kilometers away. So just looking at it, you wouldn't know that is why it exists. And that's why I'm saying I don't need to ask some questions here. Maybe the governor can tell me for Kangari, maybe it is somewhere in Kenyona, somewhere in Maire. Yeah, so Chair, I think I'm satisfied with the responses that we have received.
Chair, my question has not been answered. You remember I asked about on-source revenue? No, you cannot close. He has not answered. Yeah, but I think the governor wants to talk about on-source revenue. If there are any increment because of having municipalities, that's a very important question.
And development accounts. What was it?
I think you've understood my question, Governor.
Question?
Yes, I think the question was, once we put the municipality, have we seen an increment of own source revenue? The answer is specifically to the municipalities, Keno. I think Keno is a star performer. But for the rest, we need to give them time. Particularly Kangare, we wait and see, it's very young. For Muranga, it has been constant. In fact, it is there in the document. You can see it is pure constant. Only Keno, where we have seen a positive correlation between establishment and an increment of revenue. As to whether development account, apart from donor funds, which municipalities have a special purpose account, for the other, no, we don't. There's a technical angle to it. You know, once everything goes to CRF, then you cannot then denote amount and you take it to a municipality. You wait until the requisition is done, you expend it from CRF.
That is the evidence that you are yet to delegate the functions of the municipality, because what was envisaged by Urban Areas and Cities Act, that the municipality will have its accounts to be able to plan, budget against that, and actually expend. But what is happening is that they are being managed, their development projects are being managed from the center.
One thing I've found out is that when a certain municipality is performing very well, and they see that their money is going to a common coffer to develop other parts, definitely they will resist to contribute more. So I think you need to have some incentive. So a certain amount of money to be brought back to the way it came from. If that will be able to, give incentive to the tax collection and the sales collection. Probably you didn't think that way, to motivate the contributors of the tax, of the sales. Maybe that's my thinking. But of course, I'm not compelling you to do that.
That's not a chair, though. as our had said, the 3 municipalities of Murang'a, a point has been even raised by even other members of the county assembly. They do receive a higher proportion of development, far much higher in comparison to other areas. Like now, let's say Kangari. I think Kangari, we did works within the CBD of Kangari, a place called Githumu, another one called in Kenyona. Yeah, when you came to Keno, again, every year you'll find more accelerated development by the county government vis-a-vis other neighboring rural wards. The same happens also in Murang'a town, CBD township ward. You find more work being done in township ward vis-a-vis other areas. So the point is, we are even happy now we are receiving a Senate approval of that plan, because we'll be able to tell our colleagues in the assembly when they see those 3 wards having an accelerated support, it is actually what is envisaged in the law and what the Senate committee has been urging us to do.
Okay, thank you so much, Your Excellency and your team, and thank you for your time. I think if there's no any other business, Adam? If there be no other business, then I will excuse the governor and his team at their own pleasure. Thank you so much, and we look forward again seeing you. Is there another business? You don't have? It's better for me, it's better for me when I'm away. Just look.